Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Lauren Sizzle, and you are now tuned in to one of the hottest talk shows in the nation, We Talk Weekly's After the Talk.
I'm Classy Lady Sparkle. You want to binge listen to our shows? Follow the We Talk Weekly's podcast on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spreaker.
What up, folks? It's your boy, Charles Gregory. Make sure to follow us on all our socials at We Talk Weekly.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, Lily. So make sure you keep it locked to We Talk Weekly on 106.5 FM.
See, today we have Ricky Clover. He's a multimedia designer and developer. He has won many awards, one for excellence in TV production, notably the 2019 Cammy Awards. Ricky has done great work with his 3D animated short comedy, Marky, which was envisioned in 1992. Let's talk with Ricky about how much his short comedy has grown and all the recognition it's getting. Let's give a warm We Talk Weekly welcome to Ricky Clover.
Woohoo, woohoo. Like, where this guy, when I talk to you, boy, my guy, I'm so proud of this guy. And the reason I'm proud of him is because he's been doing a lot of work. You said 92, right? Which I didn't even know that it's been, this project has been worked on since 92.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm 44, so I've been doing this since I was in middle school.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? What inspired you to do this animated series?
I'm a big animation fan. Now, this was in the 90s. You know, The Simpsons was one of the biggest cartoons in the world. Yeah. And I always a big fan of sitcoms like Martin. And
let's give Martin a round of applause. No doubt. Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, my mind, I just have an overactive imagination. Okay. My dad was an artist. He went to the
shout out to Dad. Yeah, sure.
Ricky Clover Sr.
Okay.
So he went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And when we had a house, you know, he used to draw all the superheroes on our walls and our bedroom and everything. So I've been drawing and going to different workshops and all this stuff ever since. Mm-hmm. So it's been a journey.
Fantastic. Now, 92. Talk to me about 92.
92, I was living in Gainesville, Florida at the time.
Okay. Shout out to Florida. Okay. Yep. Gainesville. You know what? Real quick. What's great about Gainesville, right? Mm-hmm. I'm part of the Great Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, right? I'm a Sigma man, right? But I was also part of probably one of the, I want to say, step teams that made history, right? The unknown step team, right? We Sigmas, and we traveled across the country, across the nation, actually. And one of the places that we stopped was Gainesville. They have a huge college town.
Yes, it is.
And when I tell you the love that we got in Gainesville, shout out to Florida. I gotta get on. Shout out to Gainesville, no doubt. Okay, my brother, I had to take a little detour. You know.
So at the time, I started my 6th grade year, and it was a middle school. It was a mixed school, so it was black kids, white kids, Hispanic, Indian, and unfortunately, I went to the school. I had no friends there because all my friends was on to a different middle school. So I was just like, fish out of water. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty much the idea of doing Marky. Okay. Which basically he's a kid in the school with no friends, But of course, dealing with the cartoon world, everything has to be exaggerated. But in Marky's case, he stuck with a bad haircut that will not go nowhere. He cut it, and 2 hours later, it grows back. So, but I created the character right while I was in middle school. And along the way, all the additional characters are based off kids I went to school with.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So let's talk about that, right? So if, the kids, so are you still in contact with any of them, and do they know what you're working on? Okay.
No, that's over 20 some odd years ago. They probably got, kids and everything. They don't know who I
am. Yeah, for sure. Sure. Yeah. I had the opportunity to actually see some of this.
Yes.
All right. And
actually, you are the main voiceover guy. You did voice of Marky.
Let's give a round of applause for that. Let's give a round of applause.
You got a clip?
I don't have a clip, but he's going to be premiered and he's going to be showing it, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I want to talk about kind of like the growth of this, and you know how it came into what it is today. You know, and so I'm thankful, and I'm thankful you giving me that opportunity.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
To voice that character. That's the main character. You know, and it fits me.
Mm-hmm.
It fits me, yeah, it fits me, right? No doubt. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, the development of Marky and the characters, and, you know, how did you write them to be a certain, you know, certain person, you know, even, you know, the gangs, you know, I love it all, you know. So let's talk a little bit about that.
All right, so Marky is just he's the guy, he's the fish out of water guy. He's basically me, so I avatar that character. Right. Willie Smooth was the guy that was one of my best friends.
Right.
I met him later in the 6th grade year, 7th grade. He didn't have locks or anything like that, but he was like a music guy, you know, a DJ. Kid Devry is one of my people I ran into later on in my high school years. He was one of my villains.
Right.
And LaShonda was a girl actually I was dating later on in my high school years. But of course, you know, with the Marky stuff, I switched everything around because Kid Devious and LaShonda are the villains. Okay. Originally, LaShonda was Marky's girlfriend, but to up the ante, I just made her a villain.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Now you the animation, right? And you do this like literally yourself, which is amazing. But you have a different approach. You know, where does that feel come from? You know.
Well, originally, Marcus was going to be like hand drawn 2D animation like The Simpsons.
Right.
But I decided because now we in the age of Pixar and Disney, I wanted to grow to a more broader audience. Okay. So I decided to go into 3D generated images or CGI. So. And I learned that from, you know, going to PhillyCAM. You know,
shout out to PhillyCAM.
Between PhillyCAM and Devry, you know, I learned my artistic and filmmaking skills.
Okay. Interesting. And so looking at Pixar, you get this feeling of I wanted to look a certain way. Now let's start there, right? And the movements and even building a story by way of how you want it to look. You know, talk to me a little bit about that. Yeah.
Well, the stories, I wanted to be reminiscent of comic strips I used to read when I was coming up. Yeah. You know, like Peanuts and all that stuff. So the stories are real simple. Right. What I wanted to do with Marky gives the real eye candy. That's why I looked the way it looked. Yeah. And the music. Like the music for this episode, I give shout out to my brother Marques Clover,
shout out,
aka Bozzy Bars. He did the music for the 3rd episode.
Okay.
So I wanted the music to be real funky and actually a part of that time period. Because I grew up in a time period where hip hop ruled everything. I'm part of that Generation X. So hip hop was the language of the generation, which is still the language of the Generation Y and everything too.
Right.
So hip hop is that. Music that spoke to me.
Yeah, I love that. Even and every now and then, every time you talk, I keep throwing up because this is the actual flyer, right? For a house party. So,
yep, and that poster was actually a homage to the movie House Party, which came out in 1990.
Yeah. Shout out to House Party. Shout out to Marques Lawrence. Shout out to It's so much black excellence, comedy, comedic excellence in House Party. And hip hop, right, and so so you made this based off of the house party, but even the clothing.
Yes.
So what's your thought process behind that and what they're wearing? I think it's just.
I mean, what Marky had on, I used to have a white T-shirt and the jacket and the black shoes. So I got that from me. The clothing, like I said, it's from that time period. I mean, this is how people used to dress with the collar shirts and. You know, the like the jean sets and everything. Yeah, so that it's from the time period. Even with Kid Devious with the camouflage stuff on, so people just dress, and people dress like that now. Yeah. You know, with the throwback stuff. So
the exaggeration of them, especially the eyes, right? What made you say that I want to key in on this?
I'm a big fan of anime.
Okay.
So I like you know, Dragon Ball Z and all that kind of stuff. So I'm a big fan of having huge eyes. Also, huge eyes exemplifies in animation youth, you know, like younger characters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So bigger the eyes, the younger they are. And since these are dealing with teenagers, I just want to put emphasis on that. And eyes was very important.
Interesting.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Yeah, sure.
So 1992, like that's I think Clinton was in.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you think about how long ago that is, and then you think about now, when I see this, when I look at Marky, I think of NFTs. I think of.
I was gonna go there. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think of holograms. I think of like it. Sometimes putting. You're ahead of the curve.
That's right.
So I think that you're definitely a visionary, and I know C is one of the gurus of the NFT. So ask your question, but I'm just looking at it to say, hey, this is you were ahead of your time, and this is much bigger than something animated now.
Exactly.
When you're going into that metaverse world and that NFT world.
Yeah, good question.
Definitely.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different because, I mean, most anime shows take place of, the time period. But this is actually a period piece. So this is definitely what you call a throwback comedy. Yeah, that's, and I like I said, I created it because, like I said, I love sitcoms, I love cartoons, and I love hip-hop. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to also imagine, what if my life was a sitcom? What if my life was a cartoon? And this was it right here.
Interesting. You're listening to WPPM-LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And we have my guy. Listen, when I talk to you about Marky, this dynamic piece that he created, animated, created, written, produced, casted. Let's talk about the casting. Let's go there. Let's talk about the casting.
Definitely.
Because what made you, shout out, he picked me. I'm part, I'm one of the voices, right? And so, but what made you select the particular people? Because each character is dynamic.
Yes, it is.
Each character is dynamic, which is interesting because they have their own little thing. And I just want to back up before we get into what made you cast certain people. The way I like how ethnic you concentrate and make these characters. The hair is really dynamic and it's ethnic. It appears and it looks as if you're embracing like your heritage, your people. Was that intentional?
Very intentional. Like I said, this is the world I grew up in.
Right.
So anything else would be fraud. You see Will Smooth. He got the African medallion.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Poor righteous teachers and all. Yeah,
and
for sure.
You see, like I said, you see one of the kids right there. He got the jumpsuit on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
So I was just putting everything in there that what I grew up, what I saw back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was important for me to make sure that black hair looked like black hair. You know what I'm saying? Because it's woolly, it's coarse. Yeah. It looks a certain way.
I love it, man. Can it's a round of applause, man. I'm just learning a lot of this stuff. I'm just letting you know. So now we can go into the casting. Well, real quick though, I don't know if you know, but the gang, they look like they wearing pair of Oculuses. They look like they wearing Oculus.
Oh, you're talking about the Kid Devious? Yeah. That's the whole thing. Like I said, the sunglasses.
Yeah.
That was big back in the day where everybody walking
that's
around
right.
with Blade or whether it be the deal for the Matrix.
That's
Then
right.
you're being sunglasses is always a symbol of coolness or
That's right.
somebody being evil.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
Back in the day, during that time, it was a big gazelle. Like everyone was wearing gazelles back then, right?
Bomber jackets.
Bomber jackets. They call them gazelles back then, right? But there's gazelles, right? Lord Bugattis. You're talking about the dynamic, even Terminator glasses. If you was into that,
Alpina.
Terminator,
Alpina,
Yep.
yeah. Interchangeable. I got a couple pair of those that you can interchange the glass within the frame, which is dynamic. So I love how you're incorporating this stuff, and we definitely have to talk more about Web3 and the metaverse because this definitely fits within that NFTs. But I want to talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about what made you the casting, right? Let's talk a little bit about the casting.
Full self-cast, definitely.
Yeah, take this off. There you go. So let's talk a little bit about, your selection process. What made you, decide to say, you know what, I think Charles Gregory would be good for this, or I think, this person would be good for that. I seen even, Gretchen in one of the, what made
definitely.
you select,
It's all about having good relationships with people.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then once I, get a feel of people, everybody in there, it's not actors. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Also, people have a good voice.
Yeah.
If their voice fits that character,
Yeah, for sure.
it fits the personality. Because I can't do anything without a voiceover cast.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that PhillyCAM, the majority of the people here, is the people I pick.
Yeah.
Because I'm in PhillyCAM. I'm a lot to
Yeah.
to do the production.
Yeah. So it was an honor again that to be selected as the main character. What made you say, I think Charles Gregory would be good for this one?
Well, at the time, I had another guy I was dealing with.
So I'm one of the leftovers. I'm the second best. Oh, okay, all right. I thought I was special, but no, I'm messing with you guys.
No, but he didn't work out.
Okay.
So apparently it was a void. Like, okay, at the time I needed to do Life Be Buggin.
Right,
So
yeah,
and when you came to like, look, I want to be a part of it. It's you feel that position.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was perfect.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
I got a lot of people in there. I got to thank my man, the Kid Dillard.
Yeah,
because
shout
I
out
got
to
a couple
the Kid,
of couple of his kids on there. He got his acting.
Oh yeah, that's
school
right.
out there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing. Shout out to Kid Dillard. Shout out to Philadelphia artists, creators, independent media, the talent. It's just so much talent here in Philadelphia. So
I got Bradley Zaire.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
been doing
Oh,
that.
yeah. Okay.
He's my man.
Yeah. What is he doing?
He got a couple of stuff he doing out there.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me see. Of course, I got Gretchen.
Yeah, for sure.
And I got Sergio.
Okay, Sergio. Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. You got a dynamic cast, man. I can't wait to.
Antoine Haywood. He on
Okay,
there.
Antoine. Okay, yeah, you got the full team on there.
I gotta give my shout out to Trizzy. Trizzy, this is the third time he did this. Trizzy
Okay.
the Mouth.
Okay.
He's the one that put me on his show. Franchise Live.
Franchise Live. Yeah,
he
no
was
doubt.
he was the co-host on there, so I always remember that. That was back in 2016.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, for sure. All right, so we talked about the casting, your casting process. We talked about, the way that you created the animation. Now let's talk about where can people start to see this stuff and kind of your release dates and things of that.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Now I'm on my third episode. The third episode is called Marky Rock the House. And basically the plot is Marky's going to Willie Smooth's house party.
Yeah, no doubt.
So the first date will be let me see, January the 1st on 8 p.m. on PhillyCAM.
Yeah, for sure.
And also they have a Marky marathon. So they're showing all 3 episodes. Saturday, December the 31st, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How long are the episodes?
Most of the episodes is between 10 to 14 minutes long.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are your goals or your strategy moving forward as it relates to this?
I'm glad you asked. So at this point right now, the following episodes will be the Marky spinoffs.
Interesting.
It'll be called the Marky Universe, with focus on Marky's hobbies. So Marky's had plenty of hobbies out there. He like video games, he like sitcoms, he like wrestling. So, and those are basically our placeholders, because what I'm doing behind the scenes, I'm working on a Marky movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm crafting the script right now, which is going to take me at least about 3 months to do.
Okay.
But the movie is going to take me about 3 years to do.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's going to take you.
And I currently got the models already created already.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Interesting. I can't wait to.
And the movie is going to be called Marky the Motion Picture. And people think the animated shorts is wild. Yeah. They ain't seen nothing yet.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know that's right. Yeah. That's something.
Because the Marky expands, the motion picture expands on Marky's journey.
Okay.
But also, the city of hometown is going to be a character in itself. And the city of hometown is patterned off of Philly and parts of Atlanta and
fantastic.
Florida.
Amazing, man. This is amazing. I could talk to you for days for that. So it takes place in Philadelphia, so to speak, right?
Well, yeah. Well, it's inspired in Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inspired from Philly. And let's talk about the awards.
Okay, definitely.
I've been seeing awards after award after award after award. Let's talk about some of the top awards that you're very proud of, which I'm sure you're proud of all of them. But which ones stand out to you, and why do you believe that you're garnering so many awards for this?
I'm garnering so many awards for this Marky Like Be Buggin. That's the second one. Is because probably one particular scene I put on there when Marky is actually playing the video game. He's at the arcade. The video game inspired by Street Fighter 2.
Right.
Every time I show that clip, everybody go crazy. And that took me at least 5 months to do that scene.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
I was working on uncharted territory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually recreating a video game. You talking about the title screen, the gameplay, all that.
Wow.
Sound effects, everything.
Wow, amazing, man. It's such talent in putting in this. I'm very proud of you, man. You're making us proud as it relates to people who look like us and feel that we're not able or capable of doing something like that. I don't think most people would feel that they're able or capable of actually creating an animated kind of series and doing it themselves. They look at stuff like Pixar. They look at all of the
Illumination,
the Disney's, the CGI. Like I could never do that, but they're not even trying.
Right.
And I think that you said that you were going to do it, and you tried, you created it, and it's an amazing piece. So I'm very proud of you with that. Have anyone reached out to you in terms of a possibility of being picked up or something like that?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet. So, but it's getting there. That's the purpose of me doing the animated movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm taking baby steps.
Okay.
The purpose of doing animated shorts is to build a foundation. So when it's time for me to do an adaptation like a movie or even a video game,
right.
I have everything laid out.
Oh, fantastic. Have you thought about like a comic book also?
Yeah, comic book, toys.
Yeah. Definitely see. Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I look at this whole thing as not a sprint, but a marathon. Like Rome was built in a day. So I knew it's going to take time for things to fall in place.
Yeah. Amazing, man. Wow. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, man. Is there anything else that you feel like, you want people to know about this dynamic piece right here? I'm gonna pull it back up again. But I'm like this. I think you had something that was a niche piece that people needed, and you filled that void.
Definitely.
Yeah. So it's great to see. What would you like people who are watching this or who might see this in the future, because I'm sure that you're going to promote this interview, but what would you want them to know? What would you want them to know, not only about you, but like the characters and the blood, sweat, and tears that went into this?
Well, I'm going to let people know that, whatever you put your mind to, just do it. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do.
Right.
Like I said, I'll be constantly every year putting out different Marky shows, bits here and there, until I finally get the movie out there. Once I get the movie out there, I'm pushing it for a Netflix or Hulu, streamer services. You know what I mean? So that's the, I'm working on short-term goals and long-term goals.
I love that. You already got a business plan for this whole thing, huh?
Definitely.
I'm sure you do. What's the hardest part about this whole thing?
Crafting script. It's not even animated, just crafting script. Once the script is done, the hard part is done.
Yeah. Interesting. And so you do everything.
I do everything.
Wow.
I even voiced one of the characters on there for the third episode.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything else you would like anybody to know? What about those little kids who's looking, at you and saying like, wow, like, mommy, daddy, look at this. What would you tell like a little kid?
I let them know that, look, if you went to, being an artist and everything, let your mom and daddy know, sign you up for some art classes to refine your skills. That's what I did. I had to go to a lot of different workshops to get my skills together. I mean, raw talent, especially talking about being a filmmaker, animator, that's not good enough. Right, that's the beginning, but to be a filmmaker, you got to get your skills together.
Yeah, for sure.
It takes training, and it takes years. It's not something that happens in one day.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, man. Well, I'd like to congratulate you on all your success, man. And if there's anything that you feel that we can help you guys with, and in helping, further or amplify the visual, what you're doing, man, we're definitely here. One thing that we always say is once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show.
Definitely.
Yeah, so you're more than welcome to come back.
All right.
And so how can I get in contact with you and find you and all that good old stuff?
Marky, fortunately, has his own website.
Oh, there you go.
It's, let me see. Let's see. I got it somewhere.
There you go. Pull it out. Let everybody know. We want them to know before they,
Yeah. It's Super Clover at Wix.com.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Lawrence Sizzle, and you are now tuned in to one of the hottest talk shows in the nation. We Talk Weekly's After the Talk.
I'm Classy Lady Sparkle. You want to binge listen to our shows? Follow the We Talk Weekly's podcast on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spreaker.
What up, folks? It's your boy Charles Gregory. Make sure to follow us on all our socials at We Talk Weekly.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lily. So make sure you keep it locked to We Talk Weekly on 106.5 FM.